Hello everyone, Anthem update 1.0.4 is live. I went over the patch notes, I found some interesting stuff that I want to share with you guys. I will go over some of the general changes and some interceptor changes. So let's not waste time and let's get right into it. Okay, let's start. Legendary missions allows you to replay critical path missions again with a much higher difficulty level. One mission will be available per day that has no limit on the number of times it can be completed. These missions offer a new challenge and require team coordination to achieve victory. This should be pretty good. Any kind of activity that adds to the endgame is always welcome. Elysian caches. Earn Elysian keys by completing daily challenges. These keys can be used on Elysian caches, which appear at the end of each stronghold after the boss is defeated to unlock vanity and crafting materials. Opening an Elysian cache creates loot for each member of Expedition. There are 67 unique vanity unlocks available, including vinyls, victory poses, emotes, and arrivals. You will never get a duplicate vanity item. This is our first version of the rule set for Elysian caches in the game, and we'll look forward to your feedback and the data we gather from your play. Okay, first let's try to focus on the positive here. They said we will never get duplicates from these chests, which is always good news because we don't have to worry and just kind of do these strongholds over and over and over and keep getting those same items. It's just annoying. So that's out of the way and I'm happy about that. They also say that they're listening to the community and collecting data. So guys, make sure to give them as much feedback as possible so together we can make this game better. Now the negative part is we were all expecting to get armor pieces from these chests, so now that we know that that's not happening, it's kind of heartbreaking. Hopefully they will implement this in the nearest future, because let's be honest, we all want to get some cool looking armor for our javelins and just customize them the way we want. Now let's take a look at the loot changes. Chests now have a chance to drop additional items and crafting materials in strongholds, free play and missions. Apex creatures now have a chance to drop additional loot, similar to the change made to chests. Apex creatures include Ursics, Titans, Furies, and Ascari luminaries. On Grandmaster 1 difficulty and higher, Stronghold bosses will drop more loot with a chance at additional masterwork and legendary items. Now see, all of this is positive to me. I think this will motivate us to do more strongholds and just play through all of it. At the end of the day, the more loot we get, the better. Anthem especially, because there's a lot of inscriptions, a lot of different perks, and you need a variety of them so you can pick. Okay, let's move on. Javelins. Interceptor melee can now execute multiple melee attacks with a single held input. You see, if they add an option where you can pick between this and the way it was, I think that would be way better. But we'll have to test it out in game and see how it works. Interceptor can now detonate combos even if they have an aura currently active. This allows the Interceptor to detonate the combo to do extra combo damage without having to wait for the aura to expire. In addition, detonating a combo will refresh the duration of the currently active aura, regardless of the primer that is detonated on the creature. For example, if you have an ice aura active and you detonate a creature primed with acid, it will refresh the duration of your ice aura. This, guys, is fantastic, especially with the build I use, which I like to call the Frost Ninja. Now I can just keep freezing everything forever. This is beautiful. I can't wait to test this out. Increase the max stamina thruster meter for all javelins by 20%. This is also really cool. Reduce the base overheat duration for all javelins by 20%. I also agree with this one. All of these little changes will make the game feel better, right? Fire status effect on players no longer instantly overheats the javelin, but instead starts to quickly build up until overheating. Added new audio for thrusters failing to ignite when frozen by an enemy creature. Improved audio notification for when javelin ultimate ability is ready. Added the ability to enter hover underwater. The last few are kind of small changes, but in a game like this, all those, even the smallest changes, can make a big difference, so I'm really happy to see they're working on the game as much as they are. Okay, now let's jump into some interceptor component changes, and as you can see in this list right here, there's a lot of them. The survival algorithm got a buff of 20%. Talisman of Power increased to 60% for 10 seconds. It used to be 50% for 5 seconds. But the most interesting one for me was the Vengeance Matrix. It used to be all damage is increased by 25% for 5 seconds when suit health declines, but now on low armor, damage taken is reduced by 50% for 10 seconds. Now, once again, with the build I use, where I can control ads for days, especially with the new changes, this will be huge because my armor goes down, my survivability goes up. This will be super helpful and I can't wait to test it out. Way of Salvage increased to 40% for 10 seconds. It used to be 40% for 5 seconds. Way of the Swift also got a buff alongside with Way of the Bold and Way of the Integration. Now all of this are really cool changes, guys. Some of the interceptor gear also got huge buffs. For example, Karev's Talon increased base kick damage by 200%, removed cooldown increased to 50%, armor restored. Rhaenyra's Charge increased base damage by 25%, removed cooldown. Serpent's Veil increased base damage by 35%, changed to trigger on melee hit from on melee kills. Huge buff. Shadow Claw was Wraith Strike, instantly recharges with a small kill streak too, and now it's changed to launches 2 Wraith projections that seek enemies. This is gonna be super interesting. Absolute Zero, this is one of my favorite gears. Removed requirement of being above target, increased explosions damage. So previously you had to hover up in the air and use the skill then in order to make the explosions happen. Now you don't need to do that anymore, so that will be some extra damage done. Once again, I can't wait to test these out. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now the final part I want to talk about. They added brand new universal masterwork components with patch 1.0.4. Bloodlust, an inscribed component that increases melee weapon damage. Increases melee damage by 75% for 10 seconds when killing an enemy by using melee. This is gonna be awesome to try on the interceptor. Acid Slugs adds specialized storage for enhanced shotgun ammunition and increases damage. Hitting 7 shotgun shots in a single burst applies acid on the target. Giant Slayer adds specialized storage for enhanced marksman rifle ammunition and increases damage. Increases weak point damage by 50% after a consecutive marksman rifle hit streak of 5. Focused Freeze adds specialized storage for enhanced light machine gun ammunition and increases damage. On a consecutive LMG hit streak of 10, shots freeze the target. Okay, there you have it, guys. I wanted to go over some general changes alongside with some interceptor changes in this video because it is most definitely my favorite class, my favorite javelin so far. Let me know what you guys think about the full patch notes. I will drop it, as I already mentioned, in the description just in case you guys want to check them out. And let's just hope BioWare keeps putting in work, making these cool changes, giving us some new patches in order to make the game just better, because it has huge potential and it's really heartbreaking to see it struggle. I want to see Anthem succeed in the future, so let's keep the feedback and hopefully we will see the game in a better state soon. I thank you for all the support. Every sub, every comment, every like means a lot to me, guys. I really appreciate your time. Thank you once again, and as always, have a crazy beautiful day.